All right, I'm ready for questions.
How's it going, Mike? Linares was in here yesterday and was talking about the motivational thing with the plastic dump. I was wondering how you got that idea, where that came from.
That's the first question, huh? A long time ago, actually, it was a really good friend of mine, a line coach, had won 2 Super Bowls and at least 1 national championship. He would always use that phrase when kind of players weren't doing kind of what they've been asked to do. It's kind of like, right on your desk or whatever. So kind of carried, I thought that was kind of funny and kind of carried that with me. Got to the Giants and I said it, I think I said it in that room right there. And sure enough, the next day there was that object right on my desk. Eli, man, you can thank Eli for that. Eli bought it. So, and then from there, I think it got to the Bills. The guys and I was in an office with the pro personnel staff of the Bills, who are the coolest pro personnel guys in the whole NFL. So they actually texted me when they heard it yesterday. But yeah, so Eli took it and ran with it.
I'm not going to ask you if that means Linares is on the radar as Josh Allen's replacement. No, save that for later.
No. It's funny what motivates people, though.
With Linares these last few weeks, is there any one particular thing you've seen from him that's been particularly impressive, whether it's on the field, ways he's reacted to a question in the meeting room, anything?
I just think it's the constant steadiness, and we've had a lot of really good practices. And I mean that regarding competition with offense and defense, and Shane does a great job of promoting that. So with the competition being as high as it is on both sides, it gets emotional even in practice. You guys are out there for a little bit, but I mean it's very competitive, and you can kind of, which is great, and it becomes more game-like. But for him to kind of be kind of constant throughout that, through some good plays, through some negative plays. We're still young. You guys know we're young. We're still fitting pieces together, and everybody's kind of in the same boat. There's going to be a lot of other teams are going to have young guys playing or transfer portal guys playing, and you got to try to make them fit as fast as you can. And each play together kind of helps that. So while we're doing that and coming closer together as an offense, he's been very constant in that regard.
What have you seen from the offensive line in terms of just run blocking standpoint?
Yeah, I think it reminds me a little bit of last year. I hate to kind of compare because, you just kind of can take off with it. But that part of the group that's kind of, they were kind of new in the spring, and then trying to pick up as fast as we could in fall practice. The work together, I think they're communicating much better. They've got a higher comfort level of the calls being made. Every position on the field, you've got to think really quick. And yes, when we draw it up on the board, it's easy to kind of go over it and say, yes, I got it. But all of a sudden, the defensive line moves right in front of you, and you got to make a call. And it starts with our center. Every offensive line starts with a communication from the center, and that communication's got to be passed on quickly. So they're doing a better job with that. We're all striving for more consistency.
Hey, Mike, less than 2 weeks to go until the season starts. Do you have an idea of whether you're going to be on the field calling plays or in the box?
Yeah, probably going to be on the field, I think. I've been kind of leaning that way as all along. But, and I think, I can't remember if you guys asked me earlier, maybe in the off season, but I think there's pluses and minuses to both. I think being down there with the quarterbacks, with Norris, will be good. I think, and also I've got really good guys. We've got a really good offensive staff, and really good staff in general, but guys that'll, you can count on the information from upstairs, and fast information, and guys that have cool heads and that are smart and fast thinkers. So that's very important to me to be able to get that information if I need it. The use of the iPads the last couple of years are really advantageous as well, but you can't get to those usually until after the series, unless there's a timeout.
Mike, again, less than a couple of weeks till the first game with the Faison situation. How are you talking to him and to the other guys about? I mean, can you approach it as normal with the situation still lingering?
I mean, you just kind of like, just have each guy have him worry about what he's supposed to do and kind of try to block out everything else and just dial in and expect for him to be here, and he should do the same thing. And then if not, then we have to adjust. But in the meantime, like I think I said this last time, it's kind of like, hey, if he's not available for whatever reason, then the next guy's got to be ready. And all those guys it's very competitive, not just offense and defense, but guys that are good teammates. They're competing for playing time on each side of the ball, and no different in the backfield.
With the receiver group, there's obviously the group of freshmen and the experienced guys. How have you seen those two, I guess, dynamics of differences versus young
So
guys?
it's first of all, the group is becoming closer as a unit in regards to just kind of, hey, we're going to in this together. We need to win. We need to help this football team win as receivers. I think the younger guys I hadn't been around a lot of young guys in a while, coming out of high school. But I think they're a very mature group, and I think the older guys that have been here, they've done a really good job of embracing the fact that there's younger guys that are going to help us and that are going to be on the field. So it's a group that's pulled together, and I think I think they've done some really good things. Now you got to be consistent, and as a coach too, you got to kind of you want everybody to do everything perfectly and to know the offense exactly how you want it. And then sometimes you got to kind of it's a fine line between making an excuse for a guy, but then also you kind of got to realize, hey, this guy's just this time last year was getting ready for a senior year in high school. So, but we want to push them, and we want them to push themselves so they can get ready and go out there and play fast because they're confident and they know what to do, and then do what we saw them do in high school.
Going back to the running backs, what have you seen out of a guy like Isaiah Auguste who came in the summer?
Yeah, I think he's done a really good job of picking up the offense and taking advantage of his reps. And I think he's gotten more reps as training camp has gone on. I think he's gonna bring something to the table for us, and we're looking forward to seeing what he can do. But he's got good speed. He can run behind his pads, run with good power, and I think he's got some versatility.
After last season, with what Lenoris did, I think nationally people see him as this guy who takes off and runs and breaks all these tackles. But maybe the perception here in this offseason is that you've tried to reel him in a little bit and make him more of a pocket passer and let him maybe be a little more choosy when he takes off and run. What part of that is accurate? Is it the perception correct that you're trying to reel him in a little bit and make him more of a pocket passer?
I wouldn't use the words reel him in. That part of it maybe is a little bit inaccurate. I would say, hey, we want you to run it, but when you're back there throwing it and it's a design pass and there's guys open, okay, see it, anticipate it, trust it, and throw it. And then if it's not, okay, then you go run. Whereas maybe last year, at times, now he was really good last. Don't get me wrong. Maybe there was a couple guys open that he could have thrown to, but he just took off. So, yeah, I mean, you want to have. He's going to go play. He's going to go play fast, and he's going to be. We're going to do a lot of things with him, and hopefully because of that, he's going to be very hard to defend if he's making good decisions. It's all about making good decisions, and then letting his decisions that keep him and our offense on the field. And then all that his athletic ability, whether or not it's running or throwing it, will help move the ball and hopefully get the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, you talked about how there's a nice mesh of newcomers, transfers, freshmen. Is there a position group on the offense that's impressed you the most, and how do you like just the whole group meshing together with just the season opening up next week?
Yeah, I think they're all different. I couldn't. Be hard for me to say there's one group better than the other. I think they're all different, and they've all done a good job of working together to help each other out and help that position, prepare for the season. And I think overall, you kind of see that. We just kind of talk we talk in there and at times after scrimmages and things like that is, hey, number one, just stay in your own lane, worry about yourself first. Okay, don't worry about anybody else. Don't worry about the defense. Don't worry about yourself first. How you can get better, and then if you're not in there, hey, watch the guy who's playing your position, making sure you do the things that he's doing, or if it's a mistake, then make sure you don't make that same mistake. So. The communication has gotten a lot better overall offensively. That starts with the quarterback, starts with the center. So, I think just overall we're compared to, I think any probably coordinator standing here would say the same thing, but compared to our first day of fall practice, I think we're a lot further along. So, but obviously the tests come when the games come.
When you're watching these wide receivers, do you ever think of how many might play in a game? Could it be 8, 10 more?
I kind of leave that up to Coach Furry a little bit, but I do think that more so than maybe even what we thought. Yes, on paper, everyone, they all come in. You got 6 guys coming in, but like, okay, well, all right, well, there's 6 freshmen. There'll probably be 1 or 2. No, I mean, there's, like you said, there's going to be multiple guys, and Coach Beamer does a great job of expressing that to all of our players, but especially those young guys at the receiver position of, hey, maybe not, you might not be playing right now, or you might be the first on the top 2 on the depth chart right now, but that could change pretty quick, and you're going to get evaluated on every practice, whether or not it's in the beginning of practice, with routes, or towards the end, maybe you're on scout team, but we look at all that stuff, and he, we move people around, and he's done that in the past. He showed clips to the team of how guys have started out in the scout team, and then halfway through the season they were starting. So I think there's going to be several. I don't know if the word is several, but probably more than we thought as far as freshmen on the field.
Micah, not asking for the playbook or anything, but last year ran a lot of 2 tight end. Do you see your tight ends as being able to fulfill that role if y'all wanted to go that way?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I do. Now, do we have Josh Simon? No, not necessarily, but we've got guys that are doing a good job. They're going to help this offense move the football. And if the ball comes their way, we feel confident of getting them the football. So they're doing a good job of tight end. Those guys can make you versatile as an offense, not just because they're on the field with multiple tight end groups, or but if they can play different positions, lining up next to each other, whatever, that's going to help too. And that way, with that personnel on the field, you can't get booked. You can't get like, okay, they're only running this play or that play. You can be able to do different things. That's the goal, really, for all personnel groupings. But I think our tight ends have done a good job when they're in there doing that.
What have you seen from the quarterbacks not named Lenoris Sellers?
Yeah, I think progress for sure. I think all those guys have done a nice job. Now Luke's got obviously more college experience in general, and then Aaron Cutter have done the same thing. They're kind of a microcosm of what I just talked about. Just they've gotten better, considerably better since day 1 of fall camp. Both of them are just they get better with each rep, and so it's good competition right there, and it's a good room. They're all pushing each other, positive, and they can help each other, not just motivationally, but just thinking faster. Just remind each other about certain things, and so. And again, with that position especially, you got to make sure that you take what you see or what you do in the meeting rooms and what we go over, and have them go over, and then apply that to the practice field quickly. So they process quickly.
I know it might be hard to say without playing an actual game yet, but what do you feel like will be the biggest difference about this offense this year?
Yeah, it's hard. Heck, you guys might know more than me. I mean, just because, we've got so many new guys. It's hard to kind of like, I think if, same thing last year, at this time, you're not quite sure. We kind of think how it might unfold, and how we're going to be, but, haven't played a game yet. We've had a couple scrimmages, yes, spring ball, yes, practice against each other, but we still haven't played a game yet. So, it's our job to kind of not, yes, you have to have direction, but you have to have some flexibility as well, in case things are like, hey, even though we like this, we're really good at maybe something else that at first we didn't like as much. Hey, let's be flexible enough to allow these guys to go play fast and do. And we got a talented group. Let's let them go show their talent by doing what they do best. So it's hard for us to answer that question. I think I know it sounds boring, but it's probably just going to unfold as we go.
When would you like to name a QB2, QB3, or have you already?
Yeah, I just talked right now. I have those guys just doing the best they can, not worry about it. So, and then, Coach Beamer will announce all that stuff. But those guys, hey, stay focused on how you can get better, and then watch the guy. If you're not in there, watch the guy that's in there. Okay, you guys. Sorry.